Governor for Morobe.
Madam Assistant Speaker, let me on behalf of the people of Morobe unreservedly congratulate you. You are making a history for yourself, for your people, and for this nation. As the First Lady sitting on that odd chair of the Speaker of the National Parliament, I congratulate you. My question, Mr. Speaker, will be addressed to the Minister for Bougainville Affairs. Is he here or not here? All right, thank you, you are here. Honourable Minister, before I raise the two questions I consider important, let me put the circumstances in order. First of all, Mr. Assistant Speaker, the Bougainville peace agreement was signed in 2001 after a deal strike at Lincoln's City in New Zealand. This agreement was signed by the leaders of Papua New Guinea Parliament, representing this country, and representing Bougainville leaders at that time. And when that agreement was signed, that agreement was supposed to be built into the constitutional law. Part 14 of that constitutional law, Part 14, was the one which became that translation or the transplant of that peace agreement into constitutional law. In that constitutional law, it required that the Bougainville Autonomous Government was going to be set up by organic law, which occurred. Secondly, it also required that there was going to be a disposal of weapons. It occurred. It occurred. And that the autonomous government was going to be set up, and that autonomous government was going to be meeting the international standard of good governance. We're not being told, but I suppose that that standard has been met gradually. In that Part 14 also provided, Mr. Speaker, Assistant Speaker, for the referendum to be conducted for the Bougainville to decide whether they wish to remain with the country Papua New Guinea or sever themselves to become a state. That was decided. That referendum was conducted, and the majority of the people in Bougainville decided that
Governor, what's your question?
Yeah, I'm coming to it, Lady Speaker. I'm coming to it very shortly, if you're patient. Mr. Assistant Speaker, and the consultation was supposed to take place. Consultation has taken place, in my view, Mr. Speaker. Now, for the Minister, you, with due respect to you and the government, was supposed to table that result pursuant to Section 342, subsection 2 of the Constitution. That thing hasn't taken place. To Parliament, for the Parliament's consideration, and whatever the outcome should be reported to the Bougainville government in according to that section. Now, Mr. Speaker, Assistant Speaker, I asked the Minister, it has taken 24 years from the time the peace agreement was signed. Can you just tell this Parliament what is the progress up until now? Number one. Number two, when will, if you're ready, table the report to this Parliament in accordance with Section 342, subsection 2, for determination by the honourable members of the Parliament? When are you going to table it? Number 3, are you aware the front page of the Post-Courier today, front page of the Post-Courier today unreservedly states out by the duly elected leader of the Bougainville government, Ismail Taroma, Honorable Ismail Taroma, as the president of the autonomous government, and Honorable the Ezekiel Massad as Attorney General, and the leaders and the genuine leaders of the Bougainville had state the date to this country. The 1st of September 2027 as a date that that part of the province will declare as a state, as an independent state. They don't care whatever happens. That's a clear statement on Papua New Guinea government is going to delay it or making a decision or what the international community is going to decide. They're not concerned. They're not saying that's going to stop them. They're going to go ahead and declare independence on the 1st of September 2027. So as a nation, through this parliament, we should know you cannot be suffering from indecision, with due respect, bringing this matter to this court, this parliament.
Governor?
Thank you. With respect, Sir, Madam. Answer those 2 questions.
Governor, thank you. Thank you. Minister for Bougainville Affairs.
Thank you, Madam Assistant Speaker. Firstly, I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate you on behalf of my people and my women folk in my district for you occupying that prestigious chair. I'd like to thank the good governor for Morobe for asking a very important question in relation to the issue on Bougainville and the update that the parliament need and the people need to be advised on what the progress is on the Bougainville peace process. The good governor has asked a very important question for the members of this House, as well as the people of this country and the people of Bougainville to be informed of. The good governor asked 3 specific questions. As far as the subject matter concerns, I'd like to answer those 3 questions in one hit. But I must say in the outset that I'll be giving a ministerial statement providing the update for the progress we are having. Probably it's going to happen next week if the parliament adjourns next week. But for the purpose of the questions asked, let me update this House as to the updated progress that we have made. The good governor has briefly informed us as to the process on the Bougainville peace process. In brief, under the Bougainville Peace Agreement, we have 3 main processes. The first process, as the good governor has indicated, was to set up the autonomous Bougainville government, and that has happened. We have an autonomous Bougainville government which has been in existence for almost 20 years. The second process was the weapons disposal, and that has taken place already. The third and the last process is the referendum. And the good governor has mentioned a particularly important point in relation to good governance. I believe good governance was one of the conditions for the referendum to take place. There has been issues in relation to that, but nonetheless, The referendum has actually taken place in 2019. And the Constitution and the Bougainville Peace Agreement, in particular Section 342, it requires for the minister responsible for Bougainville affairs to actually bring the referendum result to the national parliament. Now, the people will question that the good governor has asked, the report has not come to the national parliament. Our government has been in constant communication with the autonomous Bougainville government to have the consultations over the referendum result, which the Constitution and the Bougainville Peace Agreement very explicitly says that after the referendum is had, consultation must take place between the autonomous Bougainville government and the national government over the referendum result. Once the consultation is concluded, together with the consultation report and the referendum result must be brought to the national parliament. Now, the point is the Constitution and the Peace Agreement, Madam Speaker, do not specify a time frame within which the consultation should be completed and brought forward. The same peace agreement, Bougainville Peace Agreement, and the Constitution does not also specify explicitly the time frame within which the referendum result should be brought into Parliament. And the one very important issue that arose in our consultation process was that there is no specific procedure in the Constitution, in particular part 14, which implements the Bougainville Peace Agreement, and also in the Bougainville Peace Agreement, the process or procedure by which this national parliament should approach or follow in deliberating and deciding on the Bougainville referendum result to make a final decision as to the future political settlement for Bougainville. Now, the ABG and the national government, we have had a number of joint supervisory body meetings in our consultations to try to come up with a procedure to advise the national parliament to adopt before the referendum result is actually tabled here for Parliament and the members of the Honorable House to debate over it and make a final decision. Now, that procedure was to be introduced by way of a sessional order, and both parties have basically agreed to almost the form as well as the content, but one particular issue that stood out that we are at the moment grappling with is the required majority the Parliament should have to actually decide on the substantive Bougainville referendum result. Madam Speaker, the national government's position was that the Parliament should decide on the referendum result by 2/3 absolute majority. Now, autonomous Bougainville government's position was that it should take a simple majority vote. That has been the main sticking point. And so in accordance with the Bougainville Peace Agreement and the Constitution, because we had this particular issue, we have invoked a dispute resolution mechanism provided in the Bougainville Peace Agreement and the Constitution. We have invoked, I think, Section 334 of the National Constitution, which provides about the implementation of the Bougainville Peace Agreement, and in particular, Clause 265 of the Bougainville Peace Agreement, basically invoking the dispute resolution mechanism provided in the Bougainville Peace Agreement to resolve this issue that we have at the moment. And following that, on the, Madam Speaker, on the 8th of May last year, joint supervisory body meeting was held to address that particular issue. And in that JSB meeting, parties have resolved to engage an international mediator or a moderator, the service of an international mediator or moderator to assist us in resolving that particular issue. And I must inform the Parliament and the people that on the 10th of September last year, our good Prime Minister and the President of ABG have engaged a world-renowned moderator or a mediator from New Zealand. His name is Jerry Mataparai. He's a former Governor General for New Zealand and the ex-commander for the New Zealand Defense Force. So the international mediator was engaged, and terms of reference for the mediator to come and assist us to resolve this particular issue. However, we have also expanded the terms of reference for the mediator to not just stick to this particular technical issue, but also to consider us to resolve on a possible political settlement that the government can propose to the Parliament for Parliament to decide. And I must inform the Parliament that the moderator has been in the country for the past few months. I must also inform that the mediator has traveled to Bougainville himself to actually have a preliminary consultation with the people, as well as the leaders. I must inform that the mediator will be here in the country next week to actually have the first consultations meeting with the parties to try to resolve the issue. Myself plus my counterpart in the autonomous Bougainville government will actually be making a presentation to the mediator next week on the 17th. Now, the point that I want the members of the Parliament to understand is that once the mediator concludes its hearings and makes a findings about the issues we have, the report will be presented back to the Joint Supervisory Body meeting and the national government, as well as the autonomous Bougainville government. Together with the result of the mediator and the consultation result, I will then prepare a final report over the consultations and present the referendum result together with the consultation report. So, Madam Speaker, the reason why the referendum result has not been brought quickly in Parliament is simply because the consultation is still in progress. And as soon as, or as and when the international mediator completes its report and findings, they will be presented to Parliament together with the referendum result. And we are hoping that the international mediator will complete its report before end of July this year. Coming back to the third question the good governor has posed regarding a media report on the alleged position taken by the APG leadership, I must inform the House that I am not aware of that. We have not been formally informed of that particular report. What we have done is, I must inform the the House and the people that we are progressing well within the precincts, within the confines of the Bougainville Peace Agreement and the Constitution. Anything that happens outside of it is considered as illegal and would be contrary to the Bougainville Peace Agreement and the Constitution. But having said that, Madam Speaker, I will provide a full, detailed update next week if the Parliament adjourns then. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.